Elevation 44. It's your girl B. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back, family. I can't believe it's already a whole month later and we're about to go into another full moon. So today I'm giving you all the details on the Virgo full moon. And if you're new, like I said, welcome. I'm B. I am your moon guide extraordinaire. So here in these videos, I'm going to break down the energy of whatever full moon or new moon that is happening, also the focus around it, the astrological transits that are happening at the time of the full moon, and I'm going to give you your herbs, your crystals, and your rituals that you can work with to maximize this energy. So that is what this video is going to be all about. So if you are, returning, hey, glad to see you back here. Hope you're ready to dive in to all things Virgo full moon, okay? Because this full moon is happening on Saturday, February 27th, okay? And it's gonna be happening at 3:17 a.m. Eastern time. So translate that to your local time zone. And this full moon is happening at 8 degrees Virgo. 8 in numerology is about abundance. It's about abundance. It's about harmony. It's about strength. It's about power. It's about balance. It's about wholeness, okay? It's that, when you flip an 8 on its side, it's that infinity symbol, okay? So this is about a sense of wholeness, a sense of balance, a sense of equilibrium, okay? So this is a very auspicious number. And this is a great number that this energy is actually working in tangent with to create just a great opportunity for us to just tap in to all of those good things, okay? Now, Virgo, if you don't know about Virgo, Virgo is the workhorse of the zodiac signs. Virgo is all about analyzation, organizing, putting together routines. System is about, focusing and putting a zoom lens, okay? Just zooming in and getting on those little microscopic details when it comes to your life, when it comes to your health, when it comes to your business, when it comes to your thoughts, your feelings, your relationships, everything. It is just helping us to zoom in and really fine tune the details, okay? So this is really a great, wonderful healing energy, which is why I really like the moon when it's in Virgo, because you can almost feel those healing qualities coming in right away, because it's going to zoom in on anything that needs to be healed because it's out of balance, right? So why is Virgo full moon happening during Pisces season? It always happens during Pisces season because it is the polarity to Pisces, which means it sits on that opposite side of the zodiac wheel from Pisces, which means this is counterbalancing energies. They work in tangent to, create harmony. So in Pisces season, what is Pisces season focusing on? It's helping us to connect with our emotional selves. It's really getting us to get into our emotional sensitivity, our compassion. It's really turning on the emotional intelligence, that which we have locked away. I wouldn't say we locked it away. I would say we had put it to the side because we have been heavy in a lot of air energy. We had a powerful Aquarius season where we had a massive stellium in Aquarius, bringing a lot of Aquarian energy. We still have Saturn and Jupiter that's going to be hanging out there for a while, although Jupiter is going to dip out and go into Pisces, but we'll talk about that a little bit later, another video, okay? But with these major planets in Aquarius, this Aquarian energy had us zooming out and focusing on the big picture, okay? What is the big picture? What is the overall story? And we didn't want to be bothered with the details. We didn't want to be bothered with feelings and being attached and all of that type of stuff. We wanted to zoom out. We wanted to see what the problem is. We want to, big picture, focus on the problem and going in that direction and fixing things and progressing and changing and moving forward. That has been our old MO, and that's still a lot of the energy that is lingering. But with Pisces season, we have to get out of our heads, which is really that Aquarian energy, that heady thinking, like how can I solve this problem? Where are we going? What are we doing? Type of energy, and more into the compassionate, sensitive side of selves that feels the problems that are at hand, not just thinks about them, feels them, taps into other people, and intuitively is led to, create solutions from a place of depth and of emotion. So it's really taking us beneath the surface to get out of our heads and thinking about it, but to get into our hearts and feel it. So we do need both energies, and that's why Aquarius season leads right into Pisces seasons, because it is the perfect balance of head and heart. And Virgo is here to help us go into zoom in on those details, okay? So that is why this Virgo full moon is always going to be beneficial during Pisces season, because is feeling and not looking at the details. It's just in the feels, right? But we need that compassion and we need that emotional sensitivity to be activated, because there's strength and power in that, going back to this 8 number, okay? The number of strength and power, which this Virgo full moon will be sitting at, okay? So we're going to be tapping into our compassion. We're going to be stimulating our imagination, and it's going to be different than the visionary aspects that we had during Aquarius season. This is going to take it to the next level. This is the dream, the real dreamer's energy, the dream big, and it just takes it to the next level. Now, this full moon is going to be showing us where we need balance, specifically as we are pursuing change, because we have, again, Saturn and Jupiter hanging out in Aquarius, ushering lots of change for us. So we need balance between attachment and detachment, because Aquarius season and these major planets being in Aquarius and that heavy air energy has left us feeling a sense of detachment. A lot of us, and we talked about this before if you've tuned into the other videos, a lot of us have been feeling, because we are so zoomed out, right? We are so zoomed out. We are feeling a sense of detachment, and we're not feeling like we want to be bothered with the little things, the little conversations, certain people, certain things. Like we have been removing our energy from a lot of those things. And it's like, if it's not serving a bigger purpose, what's the point, right? But as good as that is, in certain respects, there is still levels of attachment that are needed. And with Aquarius detaching so much and Pisces attaching so much, we need an equilibrium. And that's what Virgo is here to help us find that balance, okay? This Virgo full moon. This is also a time where we need to be analyzing our feelings, our intentions, okay? And this is going to help us bring balance. This is going to help us ground ourselves, because again, we've been in our heads just thinking, then Pisces is just in our feelings, and now we get to merge the two together. Now let's talk about a little bit of the Virgo facts before we get into the transits that are happening. The element that is associated with Virgo is Earth. So this is a feminine expression of energy. It's actually a really beautiful expression of energy if you don't go overboard on it. The quality or mode is mutable. The planet that rules a Virgo is Mercury, which is the planet of thinking and communications. And again, this is why we analyze so much under this particular placement of the moon, because of that analyzation of our thoughts. This is how we process information and communicate that. Also, the house that Virgo rules is the 6th house, which is the house of our routines. It's the house of our health and the house of our public service, because Virgo energy is also very giving energy. It is also an energy that is focused on pouring out and being of service. So this is also going to be tying into this whole thing with finding that balance, not only zooming in on the details, but using those aspects of Aquarius and the Pisces energy to come together and be of true service in a 360 form. Okay, just wanted to add that in there. And then the polarity that we talked about earlier to Virgo's energy is Pisces. Okay, gifts. The gifts of Virgo: diligent, reliable, meticulous, intelligent, organized, communicative, analytical, service focused. Again, always trying to help others. Practical, efficient, detail-oriented, and purifying, okay? The challenges with this energy: Critical or nitpicky, worrisome, anxious, perfectionism qualities on 10, okay? On 10. Overly cautious, workaholic, indecisive, gets stuck in that analysis paralysis that Virgo is so well known for, and restlessness, okay? So these are the challenges that are present with all of those beautiful gifts. So just make sure that you are, again, tapping into this energy of trying to balance out and use the ones to your advantage that you need to use to your advantage. Leave the rest, okay? So what is the focus of this moon in general, okay? So we are in the midst of great change. We all know this. We can all see it. I mean, if you don't feel it, you can see it literally happening in front of your eyes. And like I said before, we got Jupiter and we got Saturn in Aquarius really pushing changes. We got Uranus and Taurus really pushing changes. And that is literally changes just really the theme of it all. Changes the theme. We're in a 5 universal year. So 5 is also the number of change. And so in order to be comfortable with those changes, in order to adapt to those changes and to expand our big picture vision, these are the placements that are necessary to help us get there. But it's still very important to pay attention to the details, because those other placements have us zooming out and focusing again on that big picture, and we need to zoom in because the details matter. The details matter. I'm gonna say it again. The details matter, okay? So this is a time for us to analyze, organize, to create new routines and systems, even seeking out the relationships and taking the time to heal what is necessary to be in total 360 alignment, okay? So this is helping us to set the right foundations. The details matter. When we zoom out and we look at that big picture, that is fine for planning and for general direction and goals and everything like that, and that's necessary. Now, when you set those goals, you need subset goals under that. You need the mini goals that fall under the bigger goals, and that is what, this energy is really helping us do. Now, if you really want to understand like what area this is hyper focusing on for you specifically, you definitely want to pull up your natal and transit chart. I always leave a I always leave a link down in the description box where you can pull that up very easily. Look at your natal chart, see where Virgo falls on your natal chart and where what house that's in for you, and then you can see what house it's impacting, and that's pretty much going to be the focus or the lesson or the area of life that this is probably going to be applying to you, okay? So you want to definitely look to that. And then also, lastly, I will say the focus of this energy is definitely about calling in abundance, because again, this is a number of abundance. This is the number of, being able to attract those resources and stuff that we need. So this is feminine energy. Earth energy is feminine energy. They got a very receptive quality to it. So this is about receiving, attracting, magnetizing those resources and that abundance to you, okay? So let's get into the transits. So when we talk about the transits, we're gonna only talk about the aspects that the moon is making to the other planets, okay? If you want a full lay of the land, you're definitely going to want to tap into my Pisces season video that talks about all the major transits that are happening during this Pisces season. So we're just going to talk about the moon's aspects, and the first one that we're going to talk about is the moon trining Uranus, okay? And when you have a trine between two planets, that is harmonious exchange of energy because they're in the same element. Think about brother or sister energies, right? That is what this is doing when it has this type of aspect. So the moon is literally centered on our inner needs. It's our inner selves, it's our desires, our inner desires, it's our private selves, our private lives. This is kind of what the moon is driving in terms of energy and what the focus is there. And Uranus is the great disruptor, okay? It brings just unpredictability, changes. It's usually though to progress or move us forward. It's all about freedom. It's all about rebellion. It's all about originality, thinking out of the box, just going to that next level. That is the energy that Uranus brings in. And Uranus is in Taurus, which is the sister energy to Virgo, okay? So this is going to bring in, okay, this is going to create analyzation of our current relationships, our resources, our routines. It's just going to help us like analyze on those things. And then also it creates that great change and excitement in those areas, okay? So anything that is not like really popping off to us or feels like it's going in the direction of a lot of what I talked about with Uranus's qualities, progression, forward movement, next level, then we're gonna get disinterested. So it's gonna give us a chance to analyze those things and then say, yeah, this is not it. This is not it. This is not sparking change. This is not popping me. It's not creating excitement. This gotta go. So this is how this energy is definitely gonna play itself out. So we're gonna be driven by the need to be free and independent. Okay, those are Uranus qualities, and this also creates rebellious nature. Okay, so that it can threaten relationships and security if not properly managed, because there's an excitement for change and wanting to analyze and just kind of get rid of all of the things that no longer fit the mold of where we're trying to go or what we're trying to do or what excites us, that it can create a lot of disruption in the process, okay? So definitely want to watch for that. Now the moon is also going to be opposite Venus. So this is Venus is going to be in Pisces, and again, Pisces is the polarity to Virgo. So this opposite energy is usually opposition, you know, there's a conflict happening there. So Venus is really focused on our relationships, our security, our values, our resources, and all of that good stuff. I just actually put out a video on the Venus and your love languages. So this is kind of a good time to plug that video in case you're interested in that and seeing Venus through that lens. But with Venus here in Pisces, opposite the moon, we're likely to be focused on attracting new people, new resources that more are aligned with what we want, okay? Not what we need, but what we want. This is notorious for causing issues, again, because it's not necessarily what we need, but back to what we want, all right? So we can find ourselves under this placement idolizing people, like someone or something, just because we want to fulfill that desire of ours. And it's also something that makes us, because we're so wanting to have something so bad, we can sell ourselves short on something and settling for things that are not actually in our greatest alignment, because we just throw our feelings into it, like, I just want to do this and this is what it feels good to me right now, and not necessarily what is needed for you. Again, going back to the wants side of it. We also end up compromising our current relationships because of this, because of the inability to balance our needs with others, because it's all about our needs and what we want, what we want, what we want. We can also find ourselves overspending in order to make ourselves feel better, and this can also further threaten our financial security. So don't fall into all your wants and desires under this, is basically what I'm trying to tell you. Like, you need to balance out those wants with those needs. Things that are necessarily good for you sometimes don't necessarily feel good, or you know what I mean? So you gotta have to like balance that and watch for that and not jump too far off into the other side, because Venus in Pisces is very emotion driven and emotion ruled, and this is heavy Pisces energy as we're moving through Pisces season. So I have warned you in advance, okay? Don't charge up your card and then come back and tell me that I didn't say anything, okay? So something that I want to mention that happening the next day after this full moon, and it's still going to be under the full moon energy, which is why I'm mentioning it, is that we have an opportunity to really tap into that abundance piece of the equation and calling in resources. Why? Because on the 28th, we're going to be having a grand trine, okay, in the earth signs. Now, a grand trine is really just 3 planets sitting 120 degrees apart in the same element. So just think about a triangle happening in an element, the same element. So this grand trine in particular is the moon is going to be in Virgo, Mars is going to be in Taurus, and Pluto is going to be in Capricorn, okay? So this is a big flow of harmonious energy. And this is great on attracting security, gathering resources, and having the drive and the initiative and the influence to really call those things in, okay? So this is a great time for inspiration, organization, and resourcefulness as well. So that's why I wanted to mention it, even though it's not happening on the day of the full moon, it's happening the next day, and it's still a part of this influence of energy. So you definitely are going to want to tap into that. Okay, so let's talk about the herbs that you can use during this time of the full moon. This is going to help with peace, clear thinking, healing. So we're talking about lavender, fennel, ginkgo, mullein, and marjoram. Now you can use these in a multitude of ways, from your rituals to your baths to your candle work to burning as incense to making oils to drinking them. Use the herbs however you see fit, but always make sure you do your research on them. Crystals you can use during this time are going to help bring in clarity, balance, and healing. So we're talking about moss agate, magnesite, and I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, so I'm gonna leave the spelling here so you know. Amazonite and jade, okay? Let's get into the rituals. And these rituals are definitely gonna be crafted around our overall focus and the energy that is coming in with this full moon. So the first ritual that I would recommend is using this energy, the analyzing qualities of Virgo, to literally zoom in and focus and analyze your own emotions, your own feelings, your own beliefs, okay? Pisces energy is all about the beliefs, you know, what do we believe? And this is a great time to analyze that and to get clarity on that. Also your emotions, you know, are you tapped into your emotions? Are you allowing yourself to, you know, be walled off in certain ways? Are you too open in certain ways? So this is a great time to analyze and bring some balance in that area. The second ritual that I would recommend is spending some time thinking about the new systems, the new routines, the, you know, new structures and everything that you need to put in place to support you. Because if you are talking about thriving, you're going forward and you're making plans to thrive, you need a base foundation of systems and routines and things in place to help you thrive. Those are the things that it's built on, okay? You just don't thrive out of nowhere. Like, it is built on a foundation, and this is a time to look at those details to see what needs to be put in place to have that proper foundation. So this is great for organizing and planning, okay? The third thing that I would recommend under this is, again, calling in those new resources, especially because that grand trine is happening in those earth signs. So that is going to be focused, hyper focused on that security, and that's going to help us bring in more of that security, aka those resources, aka that abundance, okay, that abundance. So this is calling in, again, new resources, employments, network, that financial security that you need. This is great for your money rituals. Like, if you want to do your money in abundance rituals, this is a time to do that, okay? And whatever security means to you, call that in the form of abundance. The next thing that I would recommend ritual-wise is healing magic, because again, Virgo energy is all about that healing quality. It's all about giving back. It's all about pouring in. So do you need to heal yourself? Can you help heal others? Using that energy to help heal, okay? And then the last thing that I would recommend ritual-wise is doing something to ground yourself, okay? Because there's a lot of air energy, and that's going to continue through the entire year, and it is very heady, it is very all over the place, and sometimes we just need to center and ground. So using this strong earth energy to just help center and ground and bring ourselves back down, because sometimes we can be way up here and we need to come back down here, okay? It's about a balance. Let's find an equilibrium. So that is all that I have for you today. I hope that you found this video helpful, and this helps you, like, you know, come up with some ways that you can capitalize on this energy and what you can do for your own personal rituals. And you know what? I want to know where all my Virgos at. Hit me up down in the comments box below. Virgo suns, Virgo moons, Virgo risings, Virgo anything. hit me up in the comments down below. I don't have any Virgo placements, but that's all right. Yeah, I mean, I got a lot of other placements that I'm working with, but all my Virgo people, I want to hear from you in the comments box. So shout yourselves out. If you have any other ritual ideas that I didn't cover and you want to share with the community, also leave those down below, because we're always learning from each other, okay? And if you are not subscribed, go on ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell, because I am always hooking you up with new content, lots of resources, and I will always link all the things that I think you will find helpful, especially if you're new to working with moon energy, down in the description box. So always check there first before leaving a comment asking for another recommendation, okay? Because it's usually down in the description box. So have a good one, happy full moon, and happy manifesting, because your girl is tapping into those abundance vibes, okay? That's what I'll be doing with this energy. All right, so see you guys in the next one. Peace.